Writing is a very difficult activity, isn't it? To make it very simple, let me say this that any kind of writing can broadly be simplified into just two words. First one, what to write, and second one, how to write it. When I talk about what to write, I'm actually talking about the content of writing. Content means ideas, ideas means points, and as I enumerate these points, I make use of simple or complex or compound sentences to express my ideas through language. Both of these combined together make writing. So, in today's lesson today, I am going to concentrate upon what to write. When we were children, we used to do a lot of useless activities, rummaging through books, reading maybe useless comic books or story books, useless mainly because, my parents thought so. But I enjoyed reading them. And that activity of reading would take me into fantasy lands and trigger my imagination. We used to do a lot of useless talk also, play silly games also, and all these things used to bring ideas into our minds. We could just pick up a pen and start writing upon anything. If you or your child have a difficulty in writing, the first thing to do, according to me, is to write a factual description about anything. It could be just anything. Maybe a park. What do you see in a park? What do you observe? Or maybe my dining room or my dining table, my pet dog, my house, my parents. You could describe your kitchen. Or to make it a little more interesting, maybe rummage through your drawer of socks and describe what the drawer looks like, what is the color, what is the size, how many socks, what are the shapes. To get a little deeper into imaginative abilities, you can have one pair of socks talking to another. Something like that. An experience that maybe a sock had is going into imagination. This is how the fantasy button is triggered in the mind. Moving from factual descriptions, we could go into something which is more, say, fantastic and imaginative. We can talk about, say, a story. Let's look at how we should start writing a story. Suppose you give this task to a child, maybe a paragraph writing or a story writing. This is how we will help him out. Think of a plot. What is your story about? A topic. Maybe my story is about a sports day in school. This is a very simple topic which doesn't really require too much of imagination, but it can help a child get started. Or maybe an annual day celebration. To become a little more imaginative, the most memorable day of my life, my favorite cricketer, my favorite person. So, to get him started, the first thing is, what is the story about? The topic. When the topic is concrete in your mind, what is the plot of my story? We have to fill in various shades and pictures into it. We have to give characters. So, second part comes here. Whom is the story about? I can make a list of characters. There is me, that is I myself in the story. It is my story. Or it is the story of my friend or my parents. Or maybe it is the story of a non-living thing, like maybe a pen. Its journey of writing. So, whom is the story about is the second important aspect. Third thing could be the time aspect. When? When did this story take place? The time. Is it about now, that is today, or maybe recent past like yesterday, last week, last month, last year, or maybe even tomorrow? Or is it about history. It is set somewhere in the medieval ages or ancient times, or maybe it is the story of a dinosaur. It could be anything. Or is it set into the future, say the next century, or maybe say 200 years from now? Many science fiction writers, they make future to be the time of their setting. The next thing that you can write about, the next thing you can help the child with is the place or the setting of the story. It's important. Where is your story located? Is it your house or school or maybe a park? Is it your city or nearby town? Are you talking about your country or maybe another country? You could be talking about another planet. Maybe there is life on Mars. There is no scope for, pressing the imagination of a child. The flight of imagination and fantasy can take you to anywhere. That's important. One more thing that we can help to trigger this, to make this thing very interesting is maybe make think bubbles. Make a think bubble and put your ideas in it. It makes it, the child likes doing such things that are nice and maybe funny and interesting. There could be a lot of fun and thrill and adventure and action or whatever the child may enjoy writing about. It helps him in expression. That's important. We shouldn't stop that imagination of the child. I would like to say that whether the school of a child requires him to write a story or not, he should be encouraged to write a story so that he is able to express himself. And this is what develops or helps in developing and inculcating good writing skills and abilities in children. Thank you. I'll have to...